Hi, let's take a very important sum of this chapter. Question is, a survey was conducted to know the hobby of 220 students, out of which 130 students informed their hobby as rock climbing and 180 students informed their hobby as sky watching. There are 110 students who follow both the hobbies, and we need to find answer of three questions, that is, how many students do not have any of the two hobbies, how many of them follow the hobby of rock climbing only, and how many of them follow the hobby of sky watching only. So child, there are two ways of solving this sum. We can solve either by Venn diagram or we can solve by formula. Let's start with Venn diagram and then we'll again discuss this sum using formula. So let's start with Venn diagram. It says that total there are 220 students, that is nothing but a universal set. So we represent this universal set with a rectangle and we'll write U is equals to 220. Out of which 130 students informed their hobby as rock climbing. That means for rock climbing we are going to represent it with a circle and we are going to assign a capital letter, that is its initial letter, which is R. So we draw a circle, we name that circle as letter R and we write a number, that is 130. Then it says that 180 students informed about their hobby as sky watching. That means for sky watching we have to draw one more circle and we have to name that circle as capital S and we'll write a number 180 inside that circle. So we had drawn two circles, one for rock climbing and other for sky watching. Further, it says that very important information, 110 students follow both the hobbies. That means it is a number which is common to rock climbing as well as sky watching, that is intersection value is given. So we need to intersect these two circles and portion which is common is given a number, that is 110. Now 130 students are those whose hobby is rock climbing, but out of 130, 110 are those students who follow sky watching also. That means if we want to find number of students who follow only rock climbing, we need to subtract 130 and 110. So 130 minus 110 gives us 20. So we can say that 20 students are there who follow the hobby of only rock climbing. That means we got answer of our second question. How many of them follow the hobby of rock climbing? It is 20. Now next, number of students who follow the hobby of sky watching is given as 180. But out of this 180, 110 are those students who follow the hobby of rock climbing also. That means if we want to find the number of students who follow the hobby of only sky watching, we need to subtract 180 and 110. So 180 minus 110 gives us 70. So the number of students who follow the hobby of only sky watching is 70. That means we got the answer of our third question, right? Now we need to find first, that is how many students do not have any of the two hobbies. It is very easy. Total is 220. So from this 220 we have to subtract all these three numbers and we'll get the value of number of students who do not follow any of the two hobbies, right? Or we can simply add this three number and we can subtract from 220. So total number of students who do not follow any of the two hobbies is 220 minus 20 minus 110 minus 70, and when we subtract all this number we get answer as 20.